part of the spiritual awakening process is literally battling fear, but not battling it in the sense of engaging in it, because then you amplify it. It's battling it in the sense of facing it, right? The most important part is facing it, so not running from it, because by facing it, you get to see that whatever the thing is that you fear is not actually as powerful as you gave it credit. So there's already a relief. And also, and this I teach very clearly in both of my books, because this was part of my development and something I learned when I got into occult and esoteric teachings, the concept of learning from your demons and integrating your demons into the self, in the sense that you master them. And I call that process giving your demons wings.
Yeah.
Because your demons, and you have your own personal demons, which are holding you back from releasing your fullest potential. Your demons they're barring the way towards you having more personal power.
Yeah.
Right? And the only way to obtain that personal power is to face the demons, learn from them, and then use them, because the main law of the universe really is cause and effect, right? Like turn the other cheek from the New Testament, and like cause and effect is basically eye for an eye from the Moses' law in the Old Testament. Turn the other cheek has created an imbalance in society, and I think it's been created to be used so to have control over people, okay? Because if I'm doing something to hurt you and you're just turning the other cheek, what's happening? From a cause and effect perspective, and that's Kybalion 101, right? From a cause and effect perspective, you're not neutralizing that energy. And now, so not only, I always say, if you don't punish evil, you become evil's accomplice, okay? And to me, this is one of my favorite teachings, because this is how you obtain personal power. You have to punish wrongs done to you the moment that they're done to you. So you have to you got to be in the zone all the time and be able to weigh energy coming at you from other people, from life itself. And then whatever you get, you send that thing right back. And that's how you neutralize the energy. So if somebody punches you, what happens? You turn the other cheek. It's a sign of weakness. Somebody punches you, you punch them back. I mean, this is what people instinctually do, right? Or I'm not saying you don't have to punch them back, we'll call the cops, but do something. If you do nothing, you just sit there and say, oh, turn the other cheek. Oh, I love you, brother, as you are. Come on. That's not going to yield any kind of positivity in your life. That person will punch someone else, and who's to blame? You, because you could have stopped them. But B, you yourself will create karma where now the universe will look at that and say, oh, you like getting punched. Well, I'm going to punch you some more. And it's going to be from people to just life itself, and all of a sudden you lost your ability to co-create, and so I think part of spiritual development, and that's why I like Hermeticism. And Hermeticism is great because it really just defines so well the laws of the universe and how and these things then become a manual. I always say the Kybalion is a manual to existence. I had a Kundalini awakening because I was studying the Kybalion. It started everything for me. The Kybalion is the most powerful book, on the planet, because it's literally the manual to existence. But then where does turn the other cheek fall in the Kybalion? Nowhere. You really just have eye for an eye. Now, I'm not saying poke somebody's eye out if they poke your eye out. The idea is it's cause and effect. You give what you get. Somebody treats you well, you treat them well back. And if somebody treats you bad, you punish that. You teach them a lesson. Because I think that the purpose is it's the monad, the oneness of the creator split itself into all these fractions so that it can know itself, but also so that it can maintain the integrity of the light, because everything is the light. And you treat me well, I treat you well. If somebody mistreats me, I will punish that the moment it happens. And a lot of people on social media, they'll say something offensive to me, and then they're surprised that I didn't turn the other cheek. I'm not here to turn the other cheek. In fact, I'm teaching people to not turn the other cheek, because if everybody was not turning the other cheek when wrongs were done to them, we wouldn't be in such a horrible state as a society where, we're being controlled by people top down. The governments have such a powerful influence, and they're mistreating their people, or the media is so clearly influenced by, some third party forces that it's taking away from our liberty and our connection with the creator, because people have for too long turned the other cheek.
Yeah.
And so nobody can tell me that turn the other cheek was not implemented for political purposes. And one part, because turn the other cheek is a New Testament law. So Jesus was the one who turned the other cheek. But people don't talk about what happened when Jesus came into the temple, when he was on his ministry and in Jerusalem, and he came into the temple and he saw the merchants, selling things in the temple. He wasn't turning the other cheek. He was in a fit of rage. He lifted all the tables, threw them down. And so that tells you right away that, and Jesus was a Kabbalist, and I am a Kabbalist. And one of the ways, the two most important spheres in the Kabbalah are mercy and severity. So really, all of life is you balancing these two spheres. Something happens, an event in life. What do you apply? Mercy or severity? If a wrong was done, and as a person of truth, you recognize some kind of wrong, it is your job then to apply severity. So that's, eye for an eye. If something is, if you see goodness and beauty in people and things, then it's your job to apply mercy. You now give them mercy. You reward that. You reward good behavior and punish bad behavior. At the end of the day, we all need to be like parents to everyone, and brothers and sisters. But the way to be a brother and sister is, if your brother or sister are, shooting up, meth and hurting themselves, even though they're happy, what are you going to do? You're going to stop that. You're going to rattle their cage. You're going to apply tough love, And so I think that as a man, one of the most important things is developing this within yourself, developing these skills within yourself, because once you do, life just opens up to you. You're respected you're respected far more. You're respected by everyone. All of a sudden, people look at you with reverence. They look at you as an authority figure, and now you become that integration of the light. You become that embodiment of the light, and all of a sudden, you become a better manifester in your life. You can manifest the things that you want. You develop a purpose. You develop a, I think that for all of us as men, to embody that divine masculine principle really means to be very strong, and that includes balancing mercy, severity, applying each force when needed, punishing evil when you see it, punishing wrongs, rewarding when somebody's being good. You reward that because you want to, you want that to keep going, so you reward it, and I think there's no faster way to develop a sense of purpose than by embodying these principles, and that could be the reason why my work is so popular right now, and why, men and women are really drawn to it, because because it aligns you with the light, because the light naturally does that. If we are the creator, we're just expressions of that light, and the light has certain principles. There's rules, and those rules are very much the Kabbalion rules. That's the rule of manifestation, and the light is that which manifests. And now all of a sudden you become an embodiment of a Jesus or a Buddha or a Muhammad or whatever, where you become an embodiment of that light. And that's why I like the part, let's say, in Jesus says, I am the truth, the way, and the light. If you, like, I'm just paraphrasing, if you embody me, and you use these principles, you now have a path towards the creator. You walk with God, and there is no greater pleasure. That is that kingdom of God that's talked about. Is there's that glory. There's a glory aspect,